What is Popeye's favorite fruit? A can of spinach talope. Happy Friday, my friends. Welcome to the stream. Are you going to blame that one on AI too? Uh, I have a suspicion. I have a suspicion that you thought of that before you heard the joke. Welcome in, my friends. Pleasure to have you here. I hope your weekend is getting off to a wonderful start, and thank you for being here with me. Loyal to Soil is first in chat tonight. Great to have you, Loyal. Sorry I've been AFK the last few weeks. My life's been a little scattered lately. I'm certainly sorry to hear that, Loyal. But I'm happy to have you here with us tonight. I hope things become less chaotic for you here in the very near future. Conga Line Monkey is second in chat. Welcome in, Conga. Great to see you, my friend. Fingers crossed for a successful Commodore 64 night. And Sir Rack of Lamb and Lucent Jelly, welcome into both of you. Sir Rack of Lamb says, been good, very busy weekend for me. Tomorrow starts my Monday. Hopefully that so your week. I just wished everyone a happy weekend, but you're at a week beginning, so I hope your week gets off to a smooth start, Sir Rack of Lamb. Commodore 64 nights are successful by definition, Conga says. Well, not if I can't play the games. I titled my stream tonight 70% because I'm 70% sure that about 30% of the games I have on here might work. I've figured some stuff out. I figured some stuff out about the way the confusion. The reason I'm having so many problems with the gamepad with the C64 Mini is it has to do with inconsistency in C64 games and whether or not they use joystick port 1 or 2 as the main port. And yeah, basically if there's a mismatch, if there's a mismatch somewhere where the game is by default set up for one of the ports, but then the Mini is thinking that the gamepad is plugged into the other one, then I can't control anything. And it's very like, other than trial and error, I don't know another way to figure out which port the game is expecting me to use. But I've learned a lot, and the process is becoming smoother. We're gonna play probably a couple repeat games tonight. We're gonna start with Popeye just because it's something I really like, and it's one that, at least earlier when I was working on all this, it's one that did work. So let's see if it still works. I'd like to do a run at Ghostbusters, and I was thinking maybe Gyrus, maybe Spy versus Spy. Those are some things that I'm leaning toward. I've got a whole lot of games on here, but I don't have them all set up yet. They're in the process. It should become. Jelly said that joke was too cringe to be AI. We had some we had some I want to say some debate, but we weren't really disagreeing. We were more, you know, we had some discussion about whether or not the punchline should have been can of spinach to or can to of spinach. And I think the conclusion we came to was that the first iteration was more painful. So that's what we ended up going with. They're very arbitrary about that. Yeah, so uh I from what I read, it seems like Joyport 1 is more common in older games, and the as the C64 moves along, the joystick port 2 becomes dominant, because apparently there can be some joystick port 1 has a tendency to experience errors, where the C64 gets confused between the joystick and the keyboard. So to avoid that, people started using Joyport 2 as the default later on. Seemed to be the case. All this may be wrong. Agent Frownie, you look much more comfy without your frill. It was a moral decision about whether or not you had a right to tell that joke. I let the game idle for too long. I may have to restart the C6. I have to restart the Mini now. My capture failed because I wasn't doing anything, I think. He may look happy tonight, but he's definitely not frilled, Conga says. Well done. Dynamite, welcome in. Happy Friday to you. Thank you for joining us. We are trying to get a C64 night off the ground. That's looking better? Question mark. All right, let's try playing some Popeye. I remember having a lot of fun with this game the last time we played it. I felt like I was doing okay at it too, but I'm worried. I haven't picked it up in a little while, so I've probably rusted significantly. My hearts! We're okay. Boy, sometimes they fall so fast. No! I heard Nintendo originally wanted Popeye to be their mascot, but they couldn't get the rights, so they went with Mario. I think that's fairly close to how the story goes. I don't think that death was entirely my fault, you see? The thing is, the screen went blank for a moment, and It really threw me for a loop. Come on, last heart. Victory. How is he even able to reach through the floor like that? I forgot that the stages have different music. Uh-oh. Oh, you can go through there? Wait a minute. Did I know that before and forget? That doesn't seem familiar to me. Stage 2 is so much easier than Stage 1. I think that bird is a villain too. No, the platform moved right when I needed it the most. I've somehow never even seen a C64, Dynamite says, in person, and I've seen 2600 in television, ColecoVision, almost every system ever made. My parents even had Pong. Commodore 64 is the very first way I ever played video games. My dad had a C64 when I was a kid, and I tend to say that Ghostbusters was my very first video game, which may be true. Yeah, I don't have a clear memory. It's sort of like, it's probably that or Donkey Kong. And Ghostbusters is the somewhat funnier answer. Because the game is more bogus. If you've seen a big clunky keyboard, you've seen a C64, Conga says. Yeah, that's pretty much all there is to them. Sailor Man, Jumpman, Plumber, basically the same thing, Sir Rack of Lamb says. So yeah, Donkey Kong was supposed to be a Popeye game, but they lost the license. I don't know if this game that we have here was made by Nintendo or not. Maybe they got the... I don't know if they got the license for Popeye back after the success of Donkey Kong. I don't remember how that goes. I don't know who made this game. But they did a great job. I like it. I like it a lot. This is one of the games that I had as a kid. I don't remember being very good at it. Or liking it very much when I was young, but I certainly like it now. I mean, I would play it from time to time. I definitely played it, but... So the Commodore 64 was really successful in Europe. But it wasn't as big of a thing in the States. I think that might have been why my dad ended up having one. I don't know. He was always he's always been kind of a tech guy. But my family lived in in Italy. And so it may have been the influence of his Italian friends. That inspired him to get a C64. I'm not sure. No! Excuse me. Sorry. That caught me by surprise. No. And so did that. Thank you for the hydrate conga. I clearly need it. It was big in Europe and mini in America. Hey, Hrafnir, welcome in. How's it going? Pretty good, pretty good. We're kind of just getting started tonight. Plan is to play a handful of Commodore 64 games. I have somewhat high hopes that we're going to have a lot of success with them tonight. Oh yeah, I forgot. We can punch the punching bag and mess up this guy's day. Let's try doing that. No! No, I was one heart away from the clear. Popeye was developed by Nintendo, Hrafnir says. I don't know who to believe. In that case, Ciao Bello, Dynamite says. Mom was Italian, Dad was black. Right on. Stage 2, so much easier than Stage 1. I tend to make the game harder on myself because I never pick up the can of spinach. That blue and green square on the side of the screen that kind of moves around every now and then. That's a can of spinach, and it gives you like temporary invincibility. But for whatever reason, I tend to never pick it up. All my Popeye attempts are carnivore percent. No vegetables allowed. It was ported to Nintendo, not developed. Ah! There are a bunch of developers for each port. My mistake. No worries. There we go. That's a clear. I get the hearts and sure the music notes too, but the word help? Collecting the word help lets you build a ladder. There we go. That's what the beehive is all about. Alright, I'll pick up the spinach. See, now this guy is scared of us. The spinach actually turns you green. It also freezes the hearts in place, which is, like, great if you've got one that's about to perish. But, because it gives you more time to save it. But, if you don't have any on the screen, it's terrible, because you get rid of this guy, and then you can't even use the time to collect more hearts. The beehive does not grow back, either. It would appear. I think it comes back if we die, but I'm not sure about that. Let's go. No! Another death, one heart away from victory. That's not even how rescuing works. I got my wheel and a bunch of hot sauces ready. I'll give you a free spin for catharsis next time you stop by. Hey, thank you, Rapnir. Looking forward to it. Quick, he's coming for me. Oh, Conga said I miss multi-screen platformers like this a moment ago. Yeah, I think this is my favorite genre of Commodore game. Where's stage 3? What? You have to do an extra stage 1 on loop 2, I guess. Everything's moving kind of fast now. Oh, but I think think my favorite genre of game on the C64 is these sort of, you call them multi-screen platformers, but I would call them single-screen platformers or non-scrolling platformers. I like these kind of games a lot. Discord is strange sometimes. I just got your live notification on my phone, Sir Rack of Lamb says. I give the notifications in the Discord because I'm afraid the Twitch notifications are unreliable. Now the Discord ones are unreliable too. Ever play the arcade game Arabian? It's kind of like this. I have not, Dynamite. I don't even know that I've heard of it before. Kangaroo is a fun multi-screen platformer. Not sure if it got a port to C64. I'm not sure. I have that on the Atari 2600 though. So if I can't find it for the C64, we can play it on the 2600 some night. All right, we're going to switch gears, my friends. We're going to change games. Just wanted to play that one for a little bit. And we did successfully clear the 3 boards. So, you know, we'll call that a victory. It may be a small victory. It may be an artificial victory, but we'll call it a victory nonetheless. And we're actually going to move over to Ghostbusters now. I've been wanting to give this one another try. We played it once, quite a while back. I don't think I've ever played it with the gamepad. I think I was still using the joystick back then. I mean, I don't think that it'll really make a difference for my gameplay or anything like that. But this is one... My father and I beat this when I was a kid. Probably mostly him. I think I had very little to do with it. But, so, like, but I know we beat it because we had a password. And I remember one of the final challenges pretty vividly. A classic, Conga says. That's right. This is Conga's favorite video game of all time. Ghostbusters on Commodore 64. Does this version have the endless staircase of doom? I don't believe it does. My memories of the endgame are kind of vague. I remember that there's a giant Stay Puft Marshmallow Man right near the end that you have to successfully sneak several Ghostbusters past, and it's one of the hardest things to do in the game. H.O.Z.O. Brain, welcome in. Alright, I think it's wise that we go with the hearse. Oh, thank goodness. I pushed a button and it didn't do anything for a moment, and I was ready to panic. Basically, you just have to buy all the stuff. Except for that, the portable laser confinement system, because you couldn't buy a car if you bought that. That it? It only holds 3. Alright, so that's our car. We got all the stuff. Sarakablam says, could very well just be my phone. Already had your stream pulled up on my PC. Going to step away for a bit, but the PC will be lurking. Thank you for that, Sarakablam. Alright, here we go. I'm probably somewhat biased by my nostalgia, but I do believe this version of the game to be superior to the NES version. Nice. Well, I got lucky there. I did not know that building was gonna light up. I was just moving pretty much randomly, and I went directly toward somewhere good. Oh no, I missed. We can still get him. I was pixels away from crossing the streams. Hey, Derek Ocean, welcome in. Welcome to Commodore stuff. Ray, when someone asks you if you're a god, you say, yes. I've heard the Atari 2600 version is very good. But it may be one of those where it's very good for all the wrong reasons. Whenever I succeed, I should shout Agent Frownie instead of Ghostbusters. I missed. I had him trapped and I missed. He slimed me. No, this is it's similar to the NES game, but it's not exactly the same. There's a lot of little differences. The driving between houses is more pointless. Do-Ray. Frownie. Ghostbusters 2 quote. Nice. Okay, we can still do this. Ghostbusters 2 is so good, Derek says. I like it. A lot of people don't like Ghostbusters 2, but I like it. When they succeed, they shout their own name. So the more you drive on, like, the overworld map, the longer you have to drive in this portion of the game. So that's why, like, you don't want to drive around the overworld a whole lot. Unless it's to collect ghosts. I remember the second movie being better, simply because they used an NES Advantage controller to control the Statue of Liberty. That they did. Whoa! I think the aspect ratio and the capture may be a little bit off. Everything looks a bit more narrow than I think it should. Either that, I mean, it doesn't match what I have on my TV. So either it's too narrow in the capture or it's too wide on my TV. But just at a glance down there, the car looks awfully strange in the capture. I might could have gotten one more ghost. I lost count of how many of my traps I'd used up. Oh, we were too slow. What? What even is going on? Why is the car so big during the driving sections? Your guess is as good as mine. This was pretty poorly done, and I missed. This looks better than the NES's one graphics-wise. I think it does. I think this one does look better than the NES game, which is pretty rare. I think games that are on both the NES and the Commodore tend to look better on the NES in my experience. I haven't seen I haven't seen all of them side by side, but all of the ones I've seen, the NES usually has the better looks. Which, I mean, it is the newer hardware. Ghostbusters 1, incredible movie. Simply fantastic. Part 2, meh. Villain did nothing but stare menacingly at the screen. Vigo the Carpathian gave me so many nightmares. The real villain was the river of slime. The painting wakes up and he becomes the floating head and he gives that epic speech. On a mountain of skulls and a castle of pain, I sat on a throne of blood. What was will be, what is will be no more. Now is the season of evil. Boy, and that part where they're down on the abandoned railroad. Well, I got lucky there. And all those like heads on sticks appear. That was terrifying. Evil? Death is but a door, time is but a window, I'll be back. Just before his head died. I like part 2 a lot. It has a lot of good things going for it, Derek says. I've certainly seen part 2 more than part 1. He recalled that whole speech a little too easily for my liking. Oh, there's a lot more to that speech. Because it actually doesn't start like that, right? I, Vigo, the scourge of Carpathia, the sorrow of Moldavia, command you. Something like that. I don't know exactly how to pronounce the countries, he says. Yeah, oh, command me, Lord. So we had both Ghostbusters 1 and 2 on VHS when I was a kid, but here's the thing. Ghostbusters 1 was in like, it was like the second or third movie on the tape that it was on. And Ghostbusters 2 was the first movie on the tape that it was on. So, Ghostbusters 2 I watched a lot more just because I didn't have to fast forward through another movie to watch it. Stay Puft scared me as a kid, Derek says. When the bathtub came to life with the slime also got me as a kid. Yeah, that's pretty, it's a pretty spooky scene. I'm doing a bad job at keeping track of how many of the traps I've used. I know we have to go back to the headquarters every time we run out of empty traps, but so I should be counting them, but I'm not doing a great job at that. Get down here so I can capture you, Ghost. Nice. I'm believing y'all are bogus for liking part 1 over part 2. Don't you be liking part 2 over part 1? Part 1, Ghostbusters 1 is, undoubtedly the better movie, but weirdly enough, I think I'm more nostalgic for part 2. Because like I said, I think I've seen it a whole lot more. It's hard to beat Ghostbusters. It's a classic. This is not my first time playing this, Derek. I had this game as a kid. We've even played it on the stream once before. I haven't beaten it on the stream. I have vague memories of beating it once as a kid with my dad. Though, like I said a moment ago, I doubt I was very, No, we have no empty traps. Instrumental in that, victory. Ghostbusters 1 is the only good Ghostbusters movie, Chozo says. Ghostbusters 2 is plenty of fun. I was raised on horror movies, so Ghostbusters didn't scare me at all. Craftner says. E.T. though? That scene where his silhouette hobbles out of the shed terrified me. No! I was hitting the button, and the Marshmallow Man didn't stop. That's not right. I think I misunderstand something about the controls. I thought you were supposed to hit the spacebar when the Marshmallow Man showed up. Unfortunately, the controls count as spoilers. That they do. That didn't work. Well, that's alright. There's only like, what, 50 keys on the keyboard? Unfortunately for the people who lived in those houses. Hey Ricky, welcome in. Well, it's not the space bar, because that tells me my stats down at the bottom. I don't think it's the return key. Could be the return key. We'll see. I'll try and figure it out. The ghosts are getting fast. They are. That means the end is approaching. Oh. All the destroyed buildings. Yeah, Commodore 64 tonight.
Ghostbusters!
Hey, Sir Ekablam, welcome back. You would guess incorrectly. I'm nowhere near to beating this game. I'm missing a vital piece of information. Which is how to prevent the marshmallow attacks. You didn't make enough money, so the bank is foreclosed. Better luck next time. I have been defeated. I have nearly 40 years of playing this game, Conga says, to which Ricky says, put that on your LinkedIn. That's what I meant, Dynamite says, and now I'm mad at myself for misspeaking. Derek pre-ordered the new Lego game, right on. How do we feel about the Genesis Ghostbusters game? It's kind of terrible, but it's kind of awesome. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel about it, Dynamite. It's almost really great, but it plays pretty poorly. You lose without enough money. All right, all right. So, I don't think I'm going to process of elimination the keyboard command that I need. So we'll give it another try. And I'm Conga, I'm going to give you permission. Please tell me what key do I hit to stop the Marshmallow Man? I will allow this one spoiler about the controls. Looks like I have the power now, Conga says. It's B. B for bait, for the ghost bait. I never in the world would have guessed that. B, okay. Yeah. B as in ghost. All right, so I think what we're actually going to do is I'm going to shut this down. I'm going to modify my control file real quick. B for better get ready to use the stuff that stops the Marshmallow Man. I'm going to modify my control file so that I have the B key on my gamepad. So give me just one moment. All right, that should do it, I think. Modders shaking my head. Modding your B button. What's next? 360 no scope, Ricky says. Hey, I make no secrets of it, you know. Like I'm an original hardware guy all the way when it comes to my consoles. Retro PCs and microcomputers. I'm out of my depth. We use the C64 Mini for Commodore games. And you know, I give myself a few quality of life things. It betrays the sanctity of Ghostbusters for the C64. having a B button on my gamepad. The competitive Commodore 64 Ghostbusters community is going to be livid. It actually wouldn't be so bad if I had an old-fashioned joystick with suction cups on the bottom, because then I could use the joystick with a single hand and have my other hand free for the keyboard. But I don't have those things. The one time he wants a spoiler and we just punish him for it, Conga says. Yeah, you remember this the next time the next time I'm stuck for 4 hours in a game because I don't know where the jump button is. Everybody better remember this. Joysticks, the good old days when ergonomics didn't matter. All right, let me step away a moment. I'll be right back with you, my friends. I need just a minute. All right, sorry about that, friends. Let's get back to it. Have you considered Velcro in place of suction cups? 40-year-old suction cups may be unreliable. I mean, I could replace them with newer suction cups, right? Or would that be another unacceptable mod? I thought I was the only unacceptable mod, Conga says. have a yes and no button on my gamepad, but I never remember which one's which. I hope this works. This is not good. This is not good. I just had to go for it. We're off to a bad start. Oh no. That's the same building that lit up second last time. The buildings operate in a pattern? They're not randomized? You can memorize the order of the ghost attacks? I'm off to a horrific start. I don't have enough Ghostbusters to do any capturing now. Hey, we finally got one.
Ghostbusters!
Why is my signal unreliable? I missed. Twice.
He slimed me!
I like how we put the Ghostbusters logo on the roof of our car so that it can be seen by everyone who's above us when we're driving down the street. If there's a helicopter passing overhead and the people inside just happen to be looking down. It really gets the word about our business out there. Oh. Hey, Sonata, welcome in. It's Ghostbusters. It's the Commodore 64 version, though. So, you know, it's like perhaps the best version of this Ghostbusters. The amazing version, Konga says. Frownie's chat is rather well behaved, Choso says. We attract a lot of good eggs. Remember what platform I used to play this on? I think it was IBM PC. I've tried out well, this version, the Commodore 64 version, is what I had as a kid, and so of course I played it. I've also tried out the NES version, and I definitely find this to be superior to the NES game. I don't know what happened. I'm doing so much worse. The ghost vacuum is my favorite thing ever. It's very satisfying. I know the ghosts, like, they go above your car when you like pass by one of their sprites, right? So they're not, but I always envision them as being like flattened, like stuck to the road. And I know that can't be true because our car passes between them and the road. But I don't know. I always think of them as being flattened because you have to drive over them on the overworld map to get them stuck. So like, that's what it's always felt like to me. Is like on the overworld map, we like squish them to the road, and then on this scene, we're going by and cleaning them up. Like we make two loops. I understand that the driving sequence is supposed to be like a retelling of your overworld travels, but I don't know. They feel linear to me. Hey Konami, welcome in. Pleasure to have you with us tonight. It's the journey, not the destination. At least it's not Roger Rabbit or Dick Tracy driving. Yeah, I haven't tried either of those myself. I own Roger Rabbit, so that would be a possibility. I also love Dick Tracy, Conga says, on the NES or the Commodore. Because I saw there's a Dick Tracy game on the C64. I don't know if it's the same game though as the NES one. On the NES, I wasn't aware of the C64 version. Yeah, I mean it could be a completely different game. I'm doing well, Konami says. Right on. Always good to hear. No!
He slimed me.
Dick Tracy is a good game on the Genesis, Derek says. I didn't know there was a Genesis game. So I have a lot of Commodore games. I have a lot of Commodore games in this weird file type. It's a dot, I think it's .nib file type. Ah, thank goodness. Thank goodness for the B button. We can actually play the game now. Oh, but they're this file type that's a .nib file type, which is something that the C64 Mini can't read. So I've got to convert them to a file type I could use, and I have a program that's supposed to do that. But it's for Windows, and I only have a Linux computer. And I tried opening it with Wine, but the thing is, like, to use it, I have to drag and drop the file I want to convert onto the exe, and I can't. It won't work like that. If I just open the program with Wine, it immediately closes itself because there's nothing for it to do. It's one problem after another. So I gotta find a Windows computer so I can convert a bunch of Commodore games that I've got sitting by. I'm hoping that I can run it at the library. I love Dick Tracy. Sirac of Lamb says, I would love to find it complete in box. Genesis version's hard as nails. I've got most C64 games in most file types, Conga says. And I may reach out to you, Conga, if there's one that I need. I'm attempting to be self-sufficient. But I could need some help down the road. I'm on Fedora. What's the name of the software? I think it's just called NIB conv for convert. I think if I put everything on a flash drive, I might be able to run it at the library. I don't know if the library's computers would be set up to prevent me running a program, but I don't think it is because, well, it depends. It depends. I haven't used the computers at the library here. I'm a Linux engineer. I should be able to figure this out. Oh, here we are. So, this is like the whole thing of the game right here. I don't remember how to do this either, so. I know I've got to sneak by him, but I don't remember what it's like. Oh, he got me. Good try, Agent Frownie, but you failed to close the portal to the spirit world, and Zool has taken over your city. You made more money than you started with, so the bank will raise your credit limit. Nice. I need to write that number down. Maybe we maybe we never did beat this game. I may have false memories about beating this game. I didn't know you got I didn't know you got an account number even when you failed. Four, 6, 3, 4, 3, 2, 0, 0. Look at me streaming on Twitch and giving out my bank account details. That's a big Twinkie. Your wine runs it, Sonata? Well, I don't know why mine isn't running it. I'm envious of you. The thing is, I use Linux. I don't understand anything about it. I'm the last person on the planet who should be running Linux. Dynamite asks, what all Contra games did we get to? So we did Contra, Super C, Operation C, Contra 3, and Hardcore. I did not get to the Contra Adventure. The hard mode attempts on Contra 3 and on Hardcore I took a new path. So I had to restart that one too, and those just ate up a bunch of time, so I didn't have time for the Contra Adventure. So we just did those 5. But we'll do Contra Adventure again. There'll be another time to do it. I'd like to do, I'd like to do each of them deathless at some point. I'm far off from that goal on several of them, but we'll loop back around and go on a grind, a practice grind with them at some point. The sprites weren't even touching. I love that even though Zool took over the city, she allowed the bank to stay open. I want to do Shattered Soldier Deathless. I've heard good things about Shattered Soldier. I haven't played that one yet myself. So yeah, when I try and run the NIB convert with wine, a window opens and then goes away like immediately. It's on screen for like a frame. And when I drag and drop a file onto the exe, nothing happens. So, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. But could be anything. I use it's something it's called Linux Lite, and I think it's a Ubuntu. I think it's related to that or built off of that or based on that. The more you talk to the more questions I try to answer, though, the more you're gonna realize how little I know. uh, hey, thank you for the pistachios. Wine is annoying. I think it's awesome that you dove into it. Well, thank you. I got this the laptop that I have now. I got it secondhand, and it came with had Windows 8 on it. I think I didn't really want to learn Windows 8, and I didn't really know like the history. I could never really be sure of the complete history of the laptop, so I thought it was best to just completely blank everything out and start it fresh. And so I needed an operating system for it, and I thought, well, I can get this version of Linux to put on it, so why don't I just live with that? And living with it is what I've been doing. I actually really enjoy it for the most part. It seems to work. It seems to work super well. It's just when I have a problem, I'm completely befuddled on how to do anything to fix it. Sir Rack of Lamb is heading to bed. Says, take care, everyone. Take care, Sir Rack of Lamb. Hope you sleep well. Have a wonderful day tomorrow, my friend. And hopefully a great weekend. And I'll get to see you next week. We'll do some Air Fortress next week. Feel free to hit me up anytime. Always happy to help with it. Thank you, Sonata. And I may do that. I have certainly I've reached out to folks I've met on Twitch for help with Linux before. And I'm sure I'll need to again at some point, so I will keep you in mind for it. It's been going pretty well though. I haven't really had a problem since last year. My last big problem was I was bleeding free space from my hard drive, and I could not for the world figure out why my hard drive was shrinking. Um, and I was just deleting files to try and keep ahead of the curve of the shrinking free space for a long time, and then it just became impossible. I couldn't outrun it forever, and then my computer started locking up and having all these wild problems. But turns out turns out I was bleeding free space because there was a disk backup program that was running that was running on my laptop, and every and it was keeping every archive that it made, and every archive that it made included a duplicate of every file on the hard drive. But this was a thing. It was a program I didn't even know it existed. Like it's not even that I had it set up wrong. I mean I did, but I didn't even know it was a feature on my computer. And it was just running in the background causing mischief every month. Oh. But someone was helping me out and pointed me in the direction of like basically uh like a task manager type program for Linux. And when I opened that up, I was like, "Wait a minute, what is all this stuff?" And oh, it was that was the wildest problem I've ever had with it. And ever since then, it's been pretty smooth sailing. They're making a Twisted Metal show, Derek says. I like those games. They're fun. I don't really have a lot of experience with them.
Ghostbusters!
Alright, we're gonna try this again. Now we've got a little bit more money, a little bit more wisdom. I've got a B button on my gamepad. Let's go. You should check them out sometime. I played a little bit, a very tiny amount of one of them on the PlayStation 2 that my friend had. I don't remember it all that well, though. We got a little bit of extra cash, but I don't really know that there's anything we can do with it. I think we've still got to go with the same car. Yeah, the extra cash doesn't really mean a whole lot to me. Just played through all the Twisted Metal games. Hope they don't mess up the show, Hrafnir says. There's a teaser trailer out now. Hrafnir says I'm not impressed by it. My guess right now is that your Wine install needs the .NET Framework version 4. Could I get that just by I don't know, trying to do like automatic updates? Is that something I'd have to go looking for and download myself? I got lucky there.
Ghostbusters!
it's an executable installer, you'd run the same way. So if I just like Google Wine.net framework version 4, I should be able to find the thing I need. And just you know, just run it.
Ghostbusters!
Get the Windows.exe version. No, he ran away.
He slimed me!
Duty calls, Rafnir says. Good night, everyone. Good night, Rafnir. Thank you for joining us. Should just be a double click from your file manager.
Ghostbusters!
I love using that digitized voice. That's fine by me. I love hearing it. We got awfully close together there. Those streams were awfully close. The thing is, so one of the things, the ghost bait is an optional purchase in this game, but I want to know, like, who are the Commodore 64 Ghostbusters players that are so extreme that they can forego the ghost bait and still win the game? I think the same studio did most of the digitized voices back in the day. You hear it in Beachhead 2 and Impossible Mission. Probably all the same guy. I don't remember the voice in Impossible Mission. We played it a little bit. But I can't pull up the voice in my memory.
He slimed me!
Hey, Lightbane, welcome in. I feel it's optional the same way Link's sword in the first Zelda is. You could technically not get it, but don't do that if you like fun.
Ghostbusters!
I have a strong suspicion you're correct. I did everything right and still lost.
He slimed me!
One min left. Picard has a speech about that. I did everything right and still lost summarizes this era of gaming. Hey, Vintage, welcome in. Thank you for joining us. I'm doing pretty well. So far we're having a Commodore night so I haven't had any technical difficulties so far, so I'm super happy. Historically, I've had a lot of trouble on our Commodore nights. There is no way this ghost is still gonna be at this building by the time we get there. I drove around so much that this driving segment is gonna last an eternity. I never understood when I was a kid and I would play this game. I never understood that more driving on the overworld means a longer driving segment here. And so, in between going to the houses, I would always want to go down all the paths on the overworld map so that it filled in completely with dots. I did not do well at this game. Also, that thing that's on the hood of the car, not like the PKE meter, but that other thing, I have no idea what that is. I've always thought that thing looked kind of hairy. No.
He slimed me. Ghostbusters!
No.
He slimed me.
We don't get any money for these ghosts that we catch along the road. Like, I don't know what the point is. We're just doing it for the love of the sport, right?
Ghostbusters!
How? How is there no ghosts here? The buildings flash red when there's a ghost, but sometimes they flash pink when you drive by them, and I don't know what pink means. Does pink mean there's almost a ghost there? Like, I don't think like of I don't think of being haunted as like having gradients. It's like it's either there is a ghost or there isn't a ghost. It's not like there's like part of a ghost. This game's mechanics are such a mystery to me, Conga says, until the internet came around. It's very opaque. I imagine that, you know, I imagine the official release came with some sort of instructions, right? But it's just no one ever had them. That was the thing about the Commodore 64. Every game released on the Commodore 64 sold exactly one copy. Because whoever bought the one legitimate copy duplicated it and distributed it to everyone. I don't know why they kept putting games on the C64. I guess it's for the same reason I catch the Street Ghost. It's just for the love of the sport. I just keep releasing games.
He slimed me.
Imagine buying a C64 game. What a sucker, Conga says. My version didn't come with instructions or a box for reasons we will get into here. I think I just summarized them pretty well. The PK energy never ever goes down. Yeah. Yeah, there's no time. What are you talking about? There's no time limits in this game. The ghosts in this version of the Ghostbusters universe, they're like vampires. They're always on the outside of the building, right? Like they have to be invited in, and everyone in town is too wise to let that happen. So we do all of our catching outdoors. I have to think most C64 games were made on a dare.
He slimed me.
I think I've got to go back. I can't describe what a difference it makes knowing what buttons to push and actually having those buttons. It's like the game becomes playable or something. Oh, here we go. Zool time. I don't know. I don't know how this works. No, we got one in, and then we. Oh. It worked by save stating and practicing. Never. I'll give myself more buttons on my controller, but I will not save state and practice. What a jaunty little dance. 46553600. 46553600. Well, we got a lot more cash now.
Ghostbusters!
I'm prepared to stick with this for a while yet. I think we can afford a nicer car now. Hey, Sparrow, welcome in. Welcome to C64, and welcome in Persephone. Glad to see some more C64 enthusiasm. We're on our third attempt at Ghostbusters. I've been just cheating up a storm tonight. I asked Conga what one of the buttons did, and then I put that button onto my gamepad. I'm completely without honor. We can almost afford the portable trap too. The portable containment unit. Once we can afford that, we're gonna be in really good shape. It was shameful in every way, Conga says. Ever buy chicken that tastes like fish? This stuff is just awful? That sounds awful. Even though it was a movie and not a video game, and even though there were other final enemies in movies before, Stay Puft was kind of the first boss ever, Dynamite says. I love the I love the station wagon. I might not be what they drive in the movie, but it's blue. It's very pleasing. It just needs wood panels on the sides.
Ghostbusters!
Not sure if you got my message. Just had to get out of the house for a bit. I must have missed that, Sparrow. I'm sorry. I hope everything's alright. Apparently some chickens are fed fish meal, so they have a fishy aftertaste, Persephone says. I don't think I've ever come across that before. Luckily. That's very odd. I like fish, but, you know, I want the food I'm eating to taste like the food I'm eating.
Ghostbusters!
Been in the house so long, need some fresh air. I know that feeling. Don't buy Kroger chicken. I couldn't even say for sure what the brand I buy is. It's just the package that's at my store. I've never really looked closely at it. I was watching Vintage make one of those poppin' things just this morning. Well, that was lucky. Yeah. I spent my channel points to force the vote in favor of sushi. Luckily, it turned out well. Otherwise, I would have had to make apologies. This guy is not going anywhere useful. I've only tried one, which wasn't very good. The ice cream one. Avoid it. All the others are about as tasty as normal gummy candy. Poppin' cooking, yeah, that's what we're talking about, Persephone. Oh yeah, if you're asking, I guess if you're asking what they were, they're like they're these little like novelty food kits that come with like powderized ingredients that you add water to and they form into like little gummies. And they come with molds to make them, you know, look like particular foods. Like you make like a little gummy hamburger. And some of them are apparently like they're not all candy. Some of them are savory flavors, which it seems mildly horrifying to me. I don't think you buy them for the end product. You buy them for the experience of making the product. If you pay your money for the end product, you're gonna be disappointed. If you spend your money for the experience, then I think you'll be okay. I haven't ever made one, but that's my like backseat opinion from having seen a handful of them made by different people.
He slimed me.
Vintage lives in the same general area as me, Sparrow says. That's awesome. When I worked retail, I would wander around the departments and see how they are. The dudes that cut and wrap the meat just didn't care and were plain sus and disgusting in how they treated the meat. I'll never buy meat that's prepped in store again, Dynamite says. It was horrifying. Well. That's enough to make me nervous. I think you're right there, Sparrow says. How do you keep finding us? I think there's a third person you know from here too, Sparrow says. I mean, I think the finding works in the other direction, Sparrow. It's the C64. Now that we can see it, I'm liking the beard, Frownie. Oh, thank you, Sparrow. It's more of a lack of beard. Vintage says, I like them, but I'm selective of which ones I buy. I kind of know some of them have a bad reputation online, so I don't buy those. I used to get prepackaged fish, but it was full of parasites every time. I mean, visible parasites. I know all fish have parasites. Ugh.
Ghostbusters!
It's trimmed up well. Twice now I've paid for a beard trim at a barber, and they've done a dreadful job both times. Well, my barber is jelly, so all compliments on that should go to her. Jelly, can you trim my beard, please? I'll pay. A bit of a drive, yeah. I was about to say, travel expenses and everything. One of them literally missed half my face. I vowed to never go there again. Second time, I just don't know how to line up the chin, and it's not a me problem, because my bestie came with me, and they made the exact same mistake.
He slimed me.
Ghostbusters is such an amazing idea overall, Dynamite says. I wish it had more content. It was on the level of a Star Wars or Indiana Jones in terms of series. That might be a be careful what you wish for kind of thing, Dynamite, because most people seem, at best, polarized by a good portion of both of those series content.
He slimed me.
And actually, isn't Ghostbusters pretty close to Indiana Jones in terms of content? Like, Indiana Jones has one movie on Ghostbusters. I know it's got the Young Indiana Jones series, but Ghostbusters has the real Ghostbusters. I mean, like, good movies, though.
Ghostbusters.
Oh, nice. We have a raid coming in. I mean, I get what you mean. You wish there was more good content. It's just, the thing is, there is about an equal amount of content if you just count pure content. That's just what I was thinking. And disregard its quality. Soma, welcome in. Thank you for the raid. Welcome to Commodore 64. We've been playing a lot of Ghostbusters. The plan is to do a couple different kind of things tonight, but I'm kind of sucked into this game right now, so we might be stuck with it for a while. How did Pokemon treat you? How was your stream? I'm gonna have to pause the game and rewind the chat here in a moment because I feel like I've missed a bunch of stuff. So if I've overlooked your comments, my friends, it's not on purpose. It's just tough to look away from the game.
Ghostbusters.
Horribly doing Soul Link run. Lost 3 Pokemon today. I'm sorry to hear that, Kurisoma. I don't think I actually know the rule set for Soul Link. but I can't imagine any situation where you're losing Pokemon could possibly be good. Haven't been to the hair salon in decades. Want to see a stylist, just can't afford it. And don't trust a barber with my hair, Persephone says. Ghostbusters a thon. I can kind of cut my own hair, Sparrow says. I mean, it turned out well. It's just very difficult and highly mistake prone. Have you ever tried to use scissors in a mirror? Sparrow, when I cut my own hair, it's you know, no scissors involved. Although Jelly did this too, to be fair. I did cut my hair once when I was really young. When I was like 3 or 4, I took a pair of scissors and destroyed my hair. Vintage says Atari 540 ST was first console slash computer. 520 ST. Lots and lots and lots of Sierra games. I've been learning about tulips, Persephone says, because I've been photographing them lately. Apparently, the bulbs are highly toxic to humans. I don't think it would have ever occurred to me to try and eat one. C64 is my first, says Sparrow, then Master System, then Amiga. And Atari ST. 2-person Nuzlocke run. If one faints for one person, both sides die. Are you playing with a partner? Or are you controlling 2 characters, I wonder? Oh, I need to sleep. Sorry to rated run. Have a great rest of your stream. No worries, Garisoma. It was kind of you to send a raid our way. I certainly appreciate it. And by all means, take care of yourself. You're playing with a friend. Oh. Oh, then that was probably extra rough. But yeah, if you need sleep, get the rest that you need, and have a great weekend. Well, I look forward to seeing you again. Uh-oh. Oh no. The mini froze up. It's not doing anything. Oh, hang on. I've never had this happen before. The keyboard was working, but the gamepad isn't. If I unplug it? I mean, the keyboard isn't working. It was reading as the wrong thing. Huh. But that's unfortunate. I've never had it lock up like this. That's very bizarre. We'll have to reset our attempt. Talking about haircuts, I do my own. Takes like 5 minutes because I'm bald. I didn't even make it to 30. I can't say for sure when my hair began to thin. But it is out of my control, so I'll choose to try not to worry about it. All right, my friends. Well, excuse me a moment. I'll take this opportunity. I'm going to take a short BRB, and when I come back, we'll try to restart this run and see if we can beat this game. I'll have to reset the mini. So I thank you for your patience, and I'll be right back with you.